Do you remember the disappointment of launching Cyberpunk and seeing this? And then finding out that the developer company, CDPR, have no plans for further support of Cyberpunk despite them initially making a big roadmap. Cyberpunk, as well as many other games, might have suffered from what is known as the development hell. Development hell is when the project is in a very long and difficult development. Such projects are often restarted, the teams change, as well as the technology they are based on. It happens to many solo developers as well as big studios for various reasons, such as when a game's goals are too ambitious and they get underestimated in the planning stage of the project. I'll give a simple example. Imagine you want to make your dream open world RPG with flying cars and crazy guns. You've made a great open world RPG before, so you aren't starting from nothing. As well as experience, you have existing infrastructure, so you can just reuse that, right? Take your rideable horse from your old game, make it possible for 4 people to ride it, and make the legs spin, and all of this works pretty well. Until you have to make a 2-legged horse and a flying horse, and that's when everything starts falling apart, because you have to adapt your old features for functionality that wasn't planned from the beginning. This is when you realize that you have to remake specific features from scratch to make your codebase organized again. But you don't do that. You don't have time, you're not interested in working on something you already worked on, you don't want to learn how physics work again, and many other reasons. I know this from my own experience of working on a relatively small but ambitious rhythm game, Ritmo. At its core, Ritmo is designed to be better than any game of the genre by being a mixture of them all. We proudly put the words community rhythm game into the title of our game because our aim is to allow players to turn Ritmo into whatever they like. We thought through everything in our initial game design in order to make the game infinitely fun and interesting. For example, to make the gameplay versatile, we designed a flexible level creation system that would allow you to add completely new game mechanics to any level, to facilitate all music genres and ensure that every song is fun and interesting to play. We created a built-in tool for mapping songs. Users will be able to manually map each note, the things that fly towards you, to make sure it is completely in sync with the beat and the rhythm of the song. And in general, every part of the gameplay was designed to be later updated with more functionality by the community. What we didn't consider was exactly how far each feature could stretch. How many songs do we aim to facilitate? What kind of gameplay features should people be able to create in their levels? So I think by now you already know what all this led to. Games can't be infinite. They always have to sacrifice something, and they always have to have a limit on something. For example, games that allow for infinite replayability often have very simple and repetitive gameplay, such as Minecraft and Dwarf Fortress. When you play a game, you always experience some predefined boundaries. But the limit of our game is something we never even considered. Why would we limit anything? And this is why every time we thought of something new, we would come back to a feature and expand it without considering the initial design. So in the end, the system turns into something completely different to what you planned from the beginning. I'd say adding new functionality to an existing feature is like an addiction. It is very easy when you start, and it might make your life better, but in the end, the more you do it, the more it breaks your project, and the more it becomes obvious that a total overhaul is required. This occurrence is known as the technical debt, and it happens when you choose an easy solution for a problem and don't consider the long-term effect. Since we are using Unreal Engine 4, one of our biggest sins in my opinion was the use of blueprints, which is a visual scripting language that makes it easy for non-programmers to program. Blueprints are popular for prototyping, but using them for anything more than that can put you into a very messy situation. Now, returning back to the analogy with the 2-legged horse. While there's nothing wrong with going for quick solutions, you should always keep in mind that all of your temporary solutions will probably become permanent. Our story is that after burning out and taken a long break where we independently thought about the things that are wrong with our game, we have jumped into quietly paying off our technical debt by reworking every major game system that was filled with quick solutions. I focused on two systems that I believed needed an overhaul. The UI system, which was completely made in blueprints, where the UI functionality for the visuals was mixed in with the actual mechanics, and the database system, which, as well as also relying on blueprints, was not as flexible as we wanted it to be. At the same time, Adam worked on the level editor, which by then had already been through 2 iterations of overhaul, and this time was reworked to be fully 3D, making it easier for people to add music to the game. Ritmo is now in active development again, and every day we're getting closer to our initial design. October should be a big month for us in terms of news and updates, as we can finally step out the dark and talk about the things that we've been working on this whole time. You can join our Discord channel to read more about our progress on Ritmo. We do detailed weekly updates and also answer any questions you may have. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel to get unique insight into the development process of the game, as well as the business side of things. We are planning to start a marketing campaign soon, and I'll be documenting everything on this channel. You were watching Ilya, my name is Ilya, and I'll see you here again soon.